You can literally brainwash your audience into buying your products. After working with hundreds of brands creating thousands of AI UGC ads through our platform, I've identified the exact psychological triggers that separate ads that get scrolled past from ads that make people pull out their credit card. By the end of this video, you'll know the 17 most powerful psychology tricks that are working right now in 2025 and some real examples so you can just copy them to your campaign. The first psychology trick is the pattern interrupt, and it's the most important one because if you don't stop the scroll, nothing else matters. Your brain is designed to save energy. When you're scrolling through social media, your brain goes into autopilot mode. It's filtering out anything that looks like any other ad or post you've seen. That's why the hook, "this product is amazing," doesn't work. Your brain has to see that pattern 1,000 times. It automatically ignores it. But when something breaks the pattern, when something unexpected happens, your brain snaps into attention. It has to process the new information. This is why starting your AI UGC ad in the back of an Uber works. It's unexpected. Nobody expects to see someone doing their skincare routine in a moving car, so the brain has to pause and process what's happening. The pattern interrupt can be visual, like filming in an unusual location, or verbal, like opening with something shocking or counterintuitive. Either way, you need to break people out of their scroll trance in the first 2 seconds. Ads with strong social proof convert 2 to 3 times better than ads without it. But here's the thing. Most people use social proof wrong. They throw in a generic 1,000 of 5-star reviews and call it the day. That's lazy, and it doesn't work nearly as well as specific social proof. Instead of saying everyone loves this, say over 50,000 bottles sold in the first month, and they had to pause ads twice because they couldn't keep up with the demand. See the difference? One is vague, one is specific and creates urgency at the same time. The psychology here is simple. Humans are social creatures. We look to others to validate our decisions. When we see that many people have already bought something and loved it, it removes the risk from our decision-making process. But the social proof has to feel real. If you're using an AI UGC, you can't just create a random face and claim they're a customer. Instead, reference real metrics, real numbers, real testimonials if you have them. People trust authority figures. It is wired into us from childhood. This is why dermatologists recommend works so well for skincare products. You're borrowing authority from the medical field to make your product more credible. If you're creating an AI UGC ad for a productivity app, having the AI character mention, "I've tried 47 different productivity systems," immediately establish them as someone who knows what they're talking about. They have experience-based authority. Or if you're selling to a specific demographic, having your AI character match the demographic creates relatability authority. A busy mom talking to other busy moms has more authority in that context than a productivity expert. The key is to establish some form of authority early in your script. Give people a reason to trust what you're about to tell them. The curiosity gap is one of the most powerful psychological triggers in advertising, and most people don't use it nearly enough. You open a loop, but don't close it immediately. You make people curious about something, and that curiosity keeps them watching. I used to spend $200 a month on skincare products, but then I discovered this one thing that changed everything. Now the viewer is thinking, what's that one thing? They have to keep watching to find out. The mistake people make is closing the loop too quickly. They say, "I discovered this moisturizer," in the very next sentence, and the curiosity disappears. Instead, you want to extend the gap a bit. Talk about your struggle first, build context, make them sit in that curiosity for 10-15 seconds before you reveal the answer. This works because humans have an innate need for closure. When you open a loop in someone's brain, they feel compelled to close it. It's actually uncomfortable to leave it open. Use this in your AI UGC scripts by teasing the solution before you reveal what it is. Make people invest emotionally in finding out the answer. People are more motivated to avoid losses than gain something of equal value. If I told you, "This product will save you $100, that's nice, but if I told you you're currently losing $100 a month by using this product, that hits different. Same dollar amount, but framing it as a loss makes it more urgent and compelling. This is why phrases like "don't miss out" and "limited time only" work so well. They trigger our loss aversion instinct. In your AI UGC script, frame your product as preventing a loss rather than providing a gain. Instead of "this app saves you 2 hours a day," try "you're losing 2 hours every single day to inefficient workflows. This app gets them back." Feel the difference? One is about gaining time. One is about stopping the bleeding of wasted time. The second one, create more urgency. The Zeigarnik Effect is the psychological principle that we remember incomplete tasks better than completed ones. In practical terms, for AI UGC ads, this means your script should create the feeling that something is unfinished until the viewer takes action. I'm about to show you the 3-step process I use every morning. But first, let me tell you why most people get this completely wrong. Now you've started something, a 3-step process, but you haven't delivered it yet. The viewer brain is already trying to fill in the gap. They want to know what those 3 steps are. When you finally reveal the steps, there's a sense of completion, but then you create a new gap. This only works if you do it consistently for 30 days. Click the link below to get started today. Now, the new incomplete loop is, will they actually do it for 30 days? The only way to complete that loop is to buy the product and try it. This is subtle but powerful. You're guiding people through a series of incomplete loops, and the final completion requires them to take action. Reciprocity is one of the oldest psychological principles in human behavior. When someone gives us something, we feel obligated to give them something back. This is why free samples work. This is why value-first content marketing works. You give first, and people feel compelled to reciprocate. In your AI UGC ads, you can use reciprocity by providing genuine value before asking for anything. Don't just pitch your product. Teach them something. Share an insight. Give a tip that people can use right now, even if they never buy from you. For example, if you're selling a productivity app, your AI UGC ad could start by sharing a free productivity technique that they can implement immediately. Give them a win. Make them feel like they gained something valuable just from watching your ad. Now, when you introduce your product, they're much more receptive. You're already giving them value. They feel like they owe you attention at minimum. This is why the best AI UGC ads don't feel like ads at all. They feel like helpful content that happens to mention a product. Things appear different based on what you compare them to. A $50 product seems expensive if you're comparing it to a $10 product, but it seems like a bargain if you're comparing it to a $200 product. This is why $199, now $50, works better than just $50. You're creating a contrast that makes the current price seems like an incredible deal. But you can use contrast in a more subtle way too. In your AI UGC script, you could talk about how you used to spend hours editing videos manually versus now using an AI tool that does it in minutes. The contrast makes the benefit feels more dramatic. Or you could contrast the problem state versus the solution state. I used to wake up with back pain every single morning. My mood was terrible, I was irritable with my family, but after getting this new mattress, I wake up refreshed, no pain. I'm actually pleasant to be around now. That contrast between the before and after makes the transformation feel more real and more desirable. The mere exposure effect means people tend to develop a preference for things simply because they're familiar with them. This is why retargeting works so well. The first time someone sees your ad, they might not buy, but the third or fourth time, they're starting to feel like they know your brand. It feels familiar, and familiar feels safe. In a single AI UGC ad, you can create a mini version of this effect by repeating your key message in different ways. Don't just say, "This product lasts 24 hours once." Reference the longevity multiple times in different contexts. "It lasted through my entire workday. I went out for drinks after it and it was still perfect. I woke up the next morning and my lips still had color." By the time your viewer gets to the CTA, they've heard the 24 hours staying power 3 times. It's familiar now, and it feels true. By the way, if you want to see these psychology tricks in action with actual AI UGC ad examples, including the exact scripts and performance data, I put together a free script guide. I'll drop the link below. Scarcity is probably the most well-known psychology principle in marketing, but most people still use it wrong. Just saying limited time offer doesn't work anymore. People have become immune to fake scarcity. They know you're probably not actually running out of digital products. Real scarcity works. If you genuinely have limited inventory, say so. We can only produce 500 units per month, and we sold out twice last month. But if you don't have real inventory constraint, you can create time-based scarcity instead. This discount code expires in 48 hours is more believable than limited time only. Or create decision-making urgency without fake scarcity. The longer you wait to fix this problem, the more it's costing you. That's urgent without being manipulative. When something is scarce or time-limited, our brain perceives it as more valuable, and we're motivated to act quickly before we lose the opportunity. The peak end rule states that we judge experiences based on their most intense moment, the peak, and how they end, not the average of every moment. For AIUGC, this means two things. First, you need a peak moment, something that stands out, something memorable. This could be a shocking statistic, a dramatic visual, a clever hook, something that makes people go, whoa, wait, what? Second, you need to end strong. Your CTA can't just fizzle out with, click the link if you want it. It needs to be confident and compelling. Click the link below and see why this is the fastest growing skincare brand on TikTok. The middle of your ad can be solid but not spectacular. As long as you have a peak moment and a strong ending, people will remember your ad positively and be more likely to convert. Once people commit to something, even in a small way, they're much more likely to follow through with bigger commitments. This is why micro-commitment works so well in ads. If you can get someone to nod along to a simple statement, they're more likely to keep agreeing with you. If you're tired of lip liners that smudge after one meal, keep watching. That's a micro-commitment. If the viewer is still watching after that statement, they've essentially agreed with it. They've committed to the problem. Now they will be more receptive to your solution. You can build multiple micro-commitment throughout your script. Each one makes the viewer more invested following through to the end. How you frame information dramatically changes how people perceive it. This product has 95% success rate feels different to only 5% of users don't see results, even though they're saying the exact same thing. Get 20% off feels different from save $40, even if they're the same discount. Frame benefits in terms of gains. Frame problems in terms of losses. Frame social proof in specific concrete terms, rather than vague percentages when possible. The endowment effect means people value things more once they feel like they own them. You can create a sense of ownership in your AIUGC ad by using language that puts the product in the viewer's hands mentally. Instead of "this product will help you," say "imagine using this every morning," plus the promised outcome that the product promises. You're basically creating a mental simulation of ownership. The viewer is imagining themselves already using the product. Once they imagined owning it, they value it more. This is why try it risk-free for 30 days works so well. It gives people actual temporary ownership, and the endowment effect makes them not want to give it back. The first piece of information we receive about something becomes an anchor that influences all future judgments. If I tell you this product is normally $200, before I tell you the actual price of $50, that $200 becomes your anchor. The $50 feels cheap in comparison. But if I just say $50 with no anchor, your brain has to find its own comparison point, which might not be favorable. Use anchoring in your AIUGC script by establishing high-value comparisons early. Most dermatologist appointments cost $150 to $300 just for consultation. This serum gives you dermatologist-level results for a fraction of that cost. You've anchored the value at $150 to $300, so whatever your product cost feels reasonable by comparison. Also known as the isolation effect, this principle states that things that stand out are more likely to be remembered. In your AIUGC ad, this means you need to make your key benefits stand out dramatically from everything else. This could be done visually by putting text on the screen when you mention the key benefits, or by pausing briefly before and after starting it, or by using a different tone of voice. This lip liner comes in 40 shades. It's long-lasting, it's comfortable, and there's the crazy part. It's completely transfer-proof. I kissed my boyfriend, drank coffee, ate pasta, and he didn't budge even a little bit. That transfer-proof claim stands out because of how it's framed and the specific examples given. It will be what people remember from your ad. The sleeper effect is a phenomenon where persuasive messages became more effective over time, especially when people forget the source but remember the message. For AIUGC ads, this means your message needs to be memorable, even if people don't remember the ad itself. This is why having a strong unique claim or angle is so important. The only lip liner that literally doesn't transfer ever is memorable. People might not remember your ad specifically, but days later, when they're thinking about buying a lip liner, that claims pops back into their mind. Make your cone message simple, specific, and memorable. Give people something they can repeat to their friends. If you've seen that lip liner that never transfers, I want to try it. That's a sleeper effect in action. Your message continues working long after the ad is over. So believe me, these psychology tricks work. They've been tested and proven for decades, and they're working right now for brands across every industry. The question isn't whether they work, the question is whether you're going to implement them. If you want a deeper dive into UGC script writing, remember the guide I told you about. The link is right below this video. Grab it, implement these principles, and watch your conversion rates climb. I'll see you in the next one.